All right, so get ready for a ringside experience today.
Yeah.
Because we're diving deep into MMA fighter prep.
Absolutely.
Going way beyond just what happens on fight night.
Right.
And really exploring the journey that these athletes undertake.
It's incredible.
It really is.
The levels they go to.
Yeah, and we're talking about not just the physical, which we know is intense.
Yeah.
But the mental and even strategic, like almost like military strategic.
Oh, absolutely. It's like
it's wild.
It's like almost like a mind game as much as it is a physical game.
Exactly.
And that's what's so fascinating about the sources we've got lined up for this duck dive.
I know. I'm excited.
We've got training manuals.
Yeah.
We've got Bruce Lee's philosophy.
That's right.
We've even got some ancient ninja wisdom.
I love it when we can bring in the ninjas.
Right.
But it's interesting because all of these sources point to that idea that it's not just about physical.
Exactly.
It's mental and emotional too.
You have to have the whole package.
You really do.
If you're going to make it an MMA.
So let's start with the physical, because I think everyone's seen the highlight reels with these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the crazy takedowns and the lightning fast strikes.
The power is incredible.
What kind of training goes into building that?
Well, it all starts with strength and conditioning.
Okay.
That's the foundation.
Makes sense.
But it's not just about, you know, lifting heavy weights.
Right.
The basics of strength and conditioning manual actually emphasizes things like plyometrics.
Plyometrics. Okay.
So we're talking like counter movement jumps, change of direction drills.
Okay, so really working on that explosiveness.
Exactly. It's that explosive power that you need to be able to move quickly and decisively in the octagon.
So it's almost like training your muscles to react instantly.
React and generate that force instantly.
Wow.
And you think about a fighter like Conor McGregor, known for his left hook.
Right.
A lot of that power comes from that explosiveness that he's developed.
That's interesting.
Through plyometrics.
I never would have put those two together.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor in plyometrics.
It's all connected.
That's so cool.
It is.
So this manual also mentions the Nebraska agility drill.
Right.
What is that?
So agility is obviously super important in MMA.
Oh, yeah. You got to be able to move.
You got to be able to evade attacks. You got to close the distance, create angles for your own offense.
Right.
And this drill is all about footwork.
Okay.
Changing direction quickly and efficiently.
Gotcha.
Which is exactly what you need in a fight.
Yeah. Because it's so unpredictable.
Exactly.
It seems incredibly demanding.
Oh, it is.
All of this.
And that's why periodization is so important.
Okay. What is that?
So the Routledge Handbook of Strength and Conditioning goes into this.
Okay.
It's basically about structuring your training into cycles.
Okay.
So you're not just training hard all the time, you're training smart.
So you're kind of like tricking your body a little bit.
So in a way, yeah, you're constantly challenging it in new ways.
Right.
And the goal is to peak at the right time for your fight.
So you're at your absolute best.
Exactly.
When it matters most.
And periodization also helps minimize the risk of injury.
Which makes sense because
it's huge in MMA.
You can't win if you're injured.
You're out of the game.
Exactly.
How'd you get injured?
And sports injuries, really, I mean, it's no joke. The toll that this sport takes on the body.
It's brutal.
We're talking hamstring strains, back pain, all incredibly common.
And, you know, the source points to muscle fatigue as a major factor.
Which makes sense. The longer the fight goes.
Exactly.
The more tired you get.
The more susceptible you are to injury.
And the more likely something is to give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like pushing your car to the limit.
It is.
Eventually, someone's going to break.
Something's got to give.
Exactly.
It's true.
So injury prevention is just as important as building strength and power.
Absolutely.
You got to make sure you're building resilience and durability as well. That makes sense. All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
And when we come back, we're going to dive into the mental game of MMA.
I'm excited for this.
I think this is going to be really interesting.
Me too.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you can have all the physical strength in the world.
Right.
But if you're not mentally prepared,
it means nothing.
They're going to crumble in the octagon.
Exactly. You need that mental fortitude.
So how did these fighters train for that? Because you can't really lift a weight to train your brain.
Right. Well, you can train your brain, but not by lifting weights.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So how do they do it?
Well, this is where Bruce Lee's philosophy comes in.
Okay.
The warrior within.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about being like water.
Okay.
Adaptable, fluid, not overthinking.
So kind of going with the flow.
Exactly, because in a fight, things rarely go according to plan.
Right.
So if you're stuck in your head trying to stick to a specific strategy...
You're going to get thrown off.
Exactly.
So you need to be able to think on your feet.
Yes. Be present in the moment.
And react to what your opponent is doing.
React and adapt.
Wow.
And that takes incredible mental discipline.
It really does.
To stay calm under pressure.
Yeah.
Not get rattled by the unexpected.
Because that's when you make mistakes.
Exactly. And this actually ties into military strategy.
Really?
Yeah, the 33 Strategies of War talks about deception.
Okay.
Understanding your opponent's weaknesses.
So it's like a chess match.
In a way.
Yes.
But with more.
Violence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
But a skilled fighter, like a general, needs to be able to anticipate their opponent's moves.
So you're playing 10 steps ahead.
Exactly. Always thinking ahead.
Wow.
Always trying to be one step ahead.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've got the physical, the mental. What about the emotional side of it?
Right, because
it's got to be emotional.
there's a lot of adrenaline.
To step into a ring or an octagon.
Fear, anxiety.
Yeah.
All these emotions come into play.
So how do they train for that?
This is where it gets interesting.
We can actually learn a lot from ninjas.
Ninjas. Okay, I'm intrigued.
The Book of Ninja emphasizes emotional control
Okay.
as a fundamental principle.
So like stealth and all that?
Exactly.
Being able to
They had to regulate their emotions.
Okay.
Because if a ninja loses their cool,
Right, it's over.
it's over.
That's it. Mission blown.
Mission blown. Exactly.
So they had to remain calm, observant, in control.
So it's about channeling that adrenaline
Yes.
into focus.
And precision.
Wow. So you're saying there's a little ninja
I think so.
in every MMA fighter.
Absolutely.
I love it. That's so cool. Okay, so we've got the physical prep, the mental game, the emotional control.
Right.
But there's one thing we haven't talked about.
And that is...
The weight cut.
Ah, yes.
That's a whole other beast.
The weight cut, a grueling process.
It's intense and kind of scary.
It can be dangerous if not done properly.
Because you're basically dehydrating
Or
yourself.
pushing your body to the absolute limit. And the anatomy of martial arts talks about how important it is to do it safely.
It's crucial.
So it's not just about starving yourself and sitting in sauna.
No. It's about strategy. It's about working with nutritionists.
Okay.
Medical professionals.
To make sure you're doing it.
To make sure it's done right.
Safely.
And effectively.
And what happens if you get it wrong?
Well, the MMA Encyclopedia actually talks about Rich Franklin.
Right.
He struggled
With the weight cut.
with finding the right weight class,
Yeah.
bouncing between light heavyweight and catch weight.
It's hard to find that sweet spot.
It is, and the source suggests that that fluctuation may have actually hurt his career.
Really?
Yeah, because cutting too much weight can leave you weak,
Right.
but not cutting enough can put you at a disadvantage.
Size-wise.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's a real balancing act.
It's a delicate balance.
It really is. It's like you walk this tightrope.
You do.
And the consequences are huge.
Oh, yeah.
On either side.
You can't be too heavy. You can't be too drained.
Yeah.
It's got to be just right.
It's got to be perfect. And it makes you realize, like, how dedicated these athletes are.
Absolutely.
Because to put your body through that.
It's a testament to their commitment.
It really is.
That they're willing to push themselves to that limit.
It makes you think about something you were saying earlier about Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah.
That warrior within idea.
Right. Finding that inner strength.
Building that resilience.
Yeah.
Being able to withstand pressure.
Exactly. And it's not just about, being physically tough.
Yeah.
It's about that mental and emotional resilience.
Which is something that I think, even if you're not a fighter.
Absolutely.
That's something we can all
learn from that.
Apply to our own lives.
Absolutely. Because we all face challenges.
Right.
We all have our own battles to fight.
Exactly. And it's about, like you were saying, facing those challenges head on.
Yeah.
And finding that inner strength to overcome them.
And not giving up, even when things get tough.
It's interesting how, we've talked about training the body, training the mind, training the emotions. But it all comes down to fight night.
Right.
And I can't even imagine.
It all culminates in that moment.
What's going through their heads.
All the preparation, the sacrifice, it leads to that.
Win or lose. How do you even process that?
I don't know. Well, that's where your support system comes in.
Okay.
Your coaches, your training partners, your family.
So you need that network.
They're there to pick you up when you fall.
That makes sense. Because even warriors need support.
Everyone needs support.
We all do.
No one achieves greatness alone.
That's true. It's a good reminder that, these athletes, they're human.
Exactly.
Just like us.
They feel pain. They feel fear.
They're not invincible.
No one is.
And I think that's what makes their journey so inspiring.
Absolutely.
Because it shows that it's not about being perfect.
It's about the journey.
It's about getting back up when you get knocked down.
It's about learning from your mistakes.
And never giving up.
Exactly. And that's something we can all take away from the world of MMA.
I think so. And, it's something to think about next time you're watching a fight.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much more to it.
It's not just about the violence.
It's about the dedication, the discipline, the mental and emotional strength.
It's about the human spirit.
It really is. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Absolutely. This was fascinating.
I always learn something new when we do these deep dives.
Me too.
And I hope you did too out there listening. Until next time.
See